Northwest Iowans are accustomed to extremes of weather, from the scalding heat of summer to winter's icy blast. But when it comes to making weather headlines, the summer of 2004 was a season to remember. In early summer, it was hail that made the headlines. Late on the morning of May 21, 2004, a thunderstorm with very large hail moved over Clay County. The hailstones, up to the size of softballs, caused thousands of dollars in damage to autos and the roofs of homes and businesses. Near the end of the summer, the culprit was rain. At the height of the Clay County Fair on September 14th and 15th, strong thunderstorms parked themselves over the area and let loose a deluge of water. When all was said and done, over 7 inches of rain fell on Spencer during those 2 days, dousing the spirits of fairgoers and causing a rise in local rivers. But by far the most memorable weather event of 2004 came in June. This is the story of that day. Friday, June 11th, 2004. For most people in Clay County, this day dawned as an ordinary early summer day. Many people in Spencer were busily wrapping up the final touches of the annual Flag Fest celebration, scheduled to kick off later that day. But June 11th, 2004 would end up far from being an ordinary day. Instead, it would go down as one of the most violent weather days in the area's history, as a record 9 tornadoes touched down in Clay County. The outbreak of severe weather was one of the best documented major weather events in the area's history, with lots of cameras, both still and video, turned to the skies to capture Mother Nature's fury. The Spencer Channel has compiled some of these images in this program to mark the occasion of the tornado outbreak of June 11, 2004. It was a busy day for Mark Brugum, chief meteorologist for KICD Radio in Spencer. As one of Northwest Iowa's primary sources for weather information, KICD was a constant companion that afternoon as violent storms broke out across the region. Brugum discussed the atmospheric conditions that set the table for the tornado outbreak.
It did look to be that nasty. The Storm Prediction Center sent a bulletin, an update that we got paged for, saying they're going to upgrade the severe weather outlook to a moderate risk. When that came out, it was a little further east than I would have liked. I was a little suspicious that it was going to happen further west, and indeed it did happen that way. We were primed. We had a big upper level trough that had been present for the last 3 or 4 days before that. Fairly strong jet stream winds at that level, especially for that time of the year, close to 50 knots, which is fairly strong, especially for mid-June. And we also had a warm front that had been persistent in the neighborhood, and it was just to the south of us. Those things combined with plenty of incoming sunshine for a pretty good risk for severe weather, as we found out later that afternoon.
The weather began to get interesting by early afternoon. At around 2 in the afternoon, a supercell thunderstorm moved out of Buena Vista County into southeast Clay County. The first reported tornado of the day also ended up being the most powerful. Joel Parsons lives near Webb. He describes his experience with the Webb area tornado.
Just I guess what we would call the power of it. You could just see, I don't know, the outside of it, just how slow stuff was moving around. Looked like the dirt and everything was just moving so slow, but it just had to be, just imagine the power of that thing, the size of what it was. As it was, it just ground its way all the way across there, just slow. But it was like, yeah, you're saying, we were, once I knew it was south of us, straight south of us, we were not going to have any trouble, with it getting to us here. Right down there is Webb, and then the next place with the silo was George Sanderson's. Just kept watching it until it was about straight east of us before it lifted off the ground.
As Parsons watched the tornado, he listened to the radio and responded with his own storm report for KICD.
Well, when we first saw it, we were working in the building over here to the south, and we went out and looked at it, and you could see it was on the ground, and it was still to the southwest of us. And so got on the phone right away and called up there and told them, and you know, where we were guessing it was and stuff. We're just looking at it. And so then when we came home, we were still listening. We came up here and we were watching it, and you could still see that it was on the ground. I mean, it never lifted. It just kept steadily grinding its way across. So, you know, I told the wife to call up there again and to make sure, you know, that they knew it was still on the ground.
And we have a...
I'm looking, that's right over at...
For Palo Alto County in northwest Iowa. That one goes until 3:25.
I hope it misses them.
And we haven't had any reports from the Webb area lately, at least not that I'm aware of.
You got the camera?
But we will, if you're in the...
It's still on the ground. Call them, tell them it's still on the ground.
And you know where it is, and you're in a position of safety.
The tornado captured by Parsons' video camera hit a peak rating of F3 on the Fujita scale, with winds estimated at between 158 and 206 miles per hour. The Webb tornado ended up being one of the most studied tornadoes in Iowa history. In addition to Parsons, the Webb Twister was tracked by several professional storm chasers. One of those chase teams, led by Tim Samaras, even captured video from inside the tornado. The team placed a special video probe in the path of the storm.